What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Transformers Legacy Dragstrip. So I know this is a Legacy Deluxe class figure, and I said I wouldn't be looking at Deluxe class, but it does contribute to a larger combiner, their Menasor. So we will be taking a look at that Menasor in combine mode. So because of that, we are going to take a look at the limbs here, but here is Dragstrip. We won't be looking at any of the other deluxe classes here, but he has some paint on him. So on the chest, you got this yellow paint right here. The head is fully painted with that purple and orange. Got red stripes here on the side, which we'll see more in the vehicle mode. Nothing really down here. He's just yellow, which is kind of accurate. You got the engine detail back here, which we'll see in the vehicle mode. And then the engine's here inside of his chest, which does actually look somewhat accurate. He comes with, of course, his guns. You get actually two, which is nice. Hasbro never gives us two guns, especially with the deluxe class, so that's great. Thank you for giving us two. It is painted purple here, so it's black plastic with purple paint. That looks good. And he can dual wield. That's awesome. Glad that they gave you two. Now you can actually combine these into a larger weapon if you like. Go ahead and take those out. And you can see the tabs are just going to fit together. And now you got this super gun. And they can fit into his hand, and you can have the super gun. You can't get him, across his chest, but able to hold it or double wield it, but not bad. But there you go for his weapon. Now, as far as articulation, he does have some pretty good articulation. The head is on a rotation joint here. No up and down on this. The shoulders rotate all the way around on this joint here. It does get caught up with the little spoiler piece here. It goes out to the side like that. Rotation at the bicep all the way around. Nothing at the wrist. Let me make sure. Yeah, there's nothing at the wrist. So it is what it is. These wheels can be adjusted, but I think they look best, folded all the way up. Rotation at the waist. You have hips go up to there, back to there, out to the side. Rotation at the thigh. Single jointed knee gets you 90 degrees. 90 degrees. You have a ankle tilt all the way up to there, and a pivot due to transformation back to there. So you can get that moved. And for size comparison, there it is next to the Netflix Optimus Prime. It comes in basically the same size as the other deluxes, and with a leader, it's going to look right. So when we get Menasor, I'm guessing, I'm not sure, that just the cab is going to turn into something of this scale. Now the trailer obviously a lot bigger, but there you go for a scale. And just for fun, there it is next to the Fans Toys version, Smokey, their version of Dragstrip. And yeah, I have to say the plain yellow actually looks right. I think that is well done. I do like the stripes you have here. Either way, it looks really good with this masterpiece Dragstrip. Alright, now let's get him transformed into his vehicle mode. Before we get these guns put away, you can store them back here in a million different places, on here, if you want, on the back of the legs, really anywhere. So there's a million storage spots, and there's also the little ports for the blast effects or whatever you want to do. All right, so let's get him transformed here. Relatively simple transformation, but also fun. We'll rotate the waist 180 degrees. Go ahead and open up the chest piece here, and that'll allow us to take the arms and rotate these upwards. Come to the sides here, you're going to take these panels, those are going to fold down, fold the wheels up, and then rotate the spoiler to the front. Same on this side, fold this to the front, fold the wheels down, rotate the spoiler to the front. Tab this together, these are going to tab in on the sides, you can kind of see right here. Just make sure you get that in. And they're going to tab right into the top of that. All right, same on this side. Make sure you get that tabbed in. This piece here is going to rotate all the way around. and sit in the front. You're going to get this head rotated in. Actually, we should do that before we get it rotated. We're going to get this head inwards. It does become the seat. So just know that. Next, go ahead and extend this piece here all the way back, and that's going to sit down and in. So you can see that engine piece inside was actually a faux engine, because this is the real engine back here. All right, and that's going to tab in on the sides here. All right, last step here is the legs. So go ahead and open up these panels here. When you take the legs, you can tab them together. Rotate these up. And we're going to accordion this down and onto the legs. And then it's going to tab in here. You kind of have to do both at the same time. So just tab them in on the top and make sure they actually like click into place. And I find that you have to do both at the same time or they kind of pop out. All right, and then go ahead and take this, fold that down. And there you go. And last little step here, if you want to store the weapons, you can take those and port them into the top there. There's Dragstrip in his vehicle mode. Actually pretty nice looking. You got some nice paint detail here. Got the brown, the red stripe, and then the Tempo Decepticon logo, or painted Decepticon logo. All this brown still comes through here in the vehicle mode. Brown and then stripes here on the back. Although it does feel like these should fold a little more, but they don't. And then you got the silver here for the engine, red stripes. Here's the back. Relatively clean for a deluxe scale, retail Transformer. Not a lot of kibble and stuff all around. It's pretty clean. It does roll nicely on these wheels. You got the one big back wheel and the two smaller front wheels. I wish they would stop doing this and just paint those pegs black like they did here. This one looks good. These do not, but not bad overall. And for a size comparison, there it is next to the Netflix Optimus Prime. Fits in nicely. I feel like this is basically the scale we're going to get with the Motormaster, basically the cab, but then the trailer is going to be a lot bigger, obviously, to house all the combiner parts. But it looks good, makes sense, and fits in well. And for another fun comparison, there it is next to the DX9 Dragstrip and the Fans Toy Smokey, their versions. It actually looks a lot like the DX9, just in terms of the proportions. The Fans Toys one always looked a little bit different because he tried to go after the real vehicle, but really cool vehicle mode here. Looks the part. All right, now let's get him into his combine mode, and it's actually relatively simple. Just going to take off these guns. I guess you could keep the guns on there too if you wanted to. Go ahead and take a spudger. You're going to eject right here, and you're going to pull out these two tabs, and then pull this tab out. And you can see there's a little slot piece here that's being held on by this little spring-loaded piece, and then these two tabs. So that's really it. These are going to peg on to the arm of the combiner. Obviously, there's two ports here, two ports down there, and then on this one, there's two ports there, and probably these here are going to all peg into the side of the arm. So makes sense. Looks good. It's just simple combiner port there. So final thoughts on the Transformers Legacy Dragstrip. Let's start with the positives. I think it's got some good paint. I was kind of surprised. Both in robot mode and vehicle mode, there's some accents. Even the guns were painted purple. That was a bonus for sure. I definitely was surprised to get two guns. Usually at the deluxe class scale, they never give you extra accessories. You usually get the one gun or the one accessory and that's it. Here you got two, so I'm happy about that. I also think it looks pretty good in the vehicle mode. I like the way it came together, and the transformation's kind of fun. Robot mode, that does have some issues for me. The holes here in the knees aren't very attractive. Everything else looks pretty good. There's not too many waffles or gaps, but the knees are definitely annoying. And the other thing is having these spoilers on the top here on the shoulders, it does kind of make him not look like Dragstrip when you do that. I wish they had just put another joint to fold these onto the back, right? So just kind of got out of the way. But that's really it for negatives. I really like it. I think it's a good version of Dragstrip. Now, the more exciting thing is how is this going to come together as Menasor? And I think We haven't gotten a combiner in a long time, or at least I haven't seen one in the main line. So that's something exciting to see how that's going to turn out. The figures do look pretty good. So I'm hoping for a nice combiner, but let's see how that goes. That's it for today. I do recommend this if you're collecting at this scale, this line. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.